Wow, there have been a bunch of things that I wanted to talk about recently, and I thought maybe instead of choosing one, I would touch on a few. So, hi, I'm Gardiner, the Linux gamer, and let's talk about the news. Azure Sphere OS. Now, I called this a long time ago. Microsoft's restructuring seems to be aimed at developing Azure Sphere OS, which is a Linux distro aimed at Internet of Things devices? What is this, 2015? Man, Microsoft can't catch a break. First, they spend all this time and energy developing Windows 10 for no good reason, and now they're jumping on the IoT train that will literally never leave the station. I'm probably preaching to the choir when I say this, but the Internet of Things is a stupid idea that probably has no legs whatsoever. But, I mean it when I say it. The Internet of Things won't take off, at least until it solves a problem that people actually have. And I'm sorry, but I don't need an app that tells me when my crock pot has hit optimum temperature, or a coffee pot that connects to the internet. Seriously though, am I the only one who thinks voice assistants are a fad that have all but died out? And I mean, few people are investing in Nest thermostats, yada yada yada. While I am a huge fan of openness, Microsoft developing Azure Sphere is kind of sad, honestly. It kind of reminds me of Windows Phone. They're late to the game and nobody wants to play with the toys they brought. I'm gonna get so much crap for this. In other news, Valve have acquired Compositor. Oh, this gave me tingles when I read it. While I'm not personally a huge fan of corporate acquisitions, this is something Valve have done since time immemorial, and it's brought us some incredible franchises. I mean, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, and even Portal. And don't forget Dota. They're all IPs that were brought to market through Valve hiring or acquiring the best and brightest. That's why I grew to respect Valve. So the fact that Valve have bought indie studio Compositor, the developers of Firewatch, which was perhaps my favorite game of 2016, well, that gets me really excited. Now, let's think about this for a second. We know Valve are working on several new games. Some VR, some traditional. Chet Falasek, head writer of Half-Life 2, Portal 2, and Left 4 Dead, left Valve about a year ago. Firewatch was one of the best stories in a video game in 2016, simply because of how tangible the characters felt. I mean, after all, Delilah was your companion throughout the entire game. Now let's think for a second. What Valve franchise relies heavily on a companion character? No, but seriously, I'm quite excited to see what the Compositor team does at Valve. And their next title, The Valley of the Gods, gives me goosebumps every single time I watch the trailer. Okay, finally, I want to touch on the Librem 5 phone again. I hope you guys aren't tired of hearing about it, because I'm not tired of talking about it. Now, full disclosure, I'm a backer of the Librem 5 crowdfunding campaign, and I'm stoked to be a part of its development, even if it's only in a financial sense. Now, on Wednesday, Purism announced that the Librem 5 team and the UB Ports project were working together to officially support Ubuntu Touch on the Librem 5 phone. And by golly, that's just super nifty. Now, I supported the Librem 5 phone because the idea of having a smartphone with GNOME on it was just too damn sexy. And now Ubuntu Touch will be a first-class citizen too. I think there's room for everyone. I have to commend Purism for how awesome they are. Truly, good job, guys. Well, that's just a few of the things that have happened this week. What do you think? Did I miss a story? Do you have an opinion on something I talked about? I'm sure some of you do. Leave a comment down below or hit me up on Twitter @TheLinuxGamer. If you like the work that I do, consider making a monthly pledge over on Patreon or LibrePay. You can now also get a Linux Gamer t-shirt if, you're into that sort of thing. It's over at Teespring, there's a link down in the description. But whatever you do, whether it's hitting that like button or sharing this video with your friends, make sure you smash that subscribe button to see more from me, the Linux Gamer. And thanks for watching. I want to give a special shout out to WebFreak. He increased his pledge by 100% on Patreon. Dude, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. You are amazing.